Let's welcome in Mike, a young man who has had an unbelievable year, and it's about to get even better in 2 days. He won the Heisman Trophy, put up enormous numbers at Baylor, and now many people assume he's going to be the second pick in the draft on Thursday night. But that's not what's so special. That's not what is a big deal for Robert Griffin III. He actually has received now the ultimate honor.
Yeah.
Forget about the Heisman. He got his own song on Mike and Mike.
RG3 runs at 44.3. You know he's better than Tim D. RG3, a real QB player, man, you see, yeah. RG3.
So now, RG3 on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline. I have to believe your year has been made because we did one of our stupid parody songs in your honor.
Oh, my gosh. That was awesome. Definitely.
Well, I thought I was going to hear that was awful.
Yeah, you know what? You are welcome to say exactly what we're thinking. It's good and terrible.
Yeah.
That's basically the way we see it.
Hey, there's always a little room for corniness in this world, so that's great.
There you go.
Last time we saw you was in Indianapolis at the Super Bowl, and at that point you made it very clear, and you have through this process, that in your mind you were the number one pick in this draft. It does appear clear as we've gotten to this point that that isn't the way it's going to go. The Colts are going to go with Andrew Luck, and you're going to go number 2 to Washington, which is an enormous honor to be the second pick in the NFL draft regardless. But how do you feel about that now going into this week?
I mean, I feel great about it. You always want to shoot for the stars, and sometimes you can fly in the clouds. So, I'm glad that I was given the opportunity to be the first pick, and now I get an even better opportunity to go to Washington and be the quarterback in Washington, D.C.
So much goes into the preparation of how you get poked and prodded and looked at and broken down. And I'm sure a lot of people told you what the process was going to be. But as you went through it, did it even surprise you how intricate it all was?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough until you actually experience it to understand what's really going on. The combine is way more than people even read about or know about. So it's a difficult process, but that's why we're athletes and we're blessed to have the opportunity. So we're willing to do what it takes to get in there.
What was the single most difficult part of all of this for you?
It's just a waiting game. Once the combine's over, once the pro days are over, unless you have private workouts, it's just a waiting game until you see where you're going to get drafted. You're sitting around because you've done everything you possibly can in your control to try to, force where you're going to go. But at the end of the day, it's up to the teams to decide who they want. And Washington decided they wanted me, so I'm glad about that.
In this process, you get told a lot about what you do well. As far as you're concerned, because players can be their own worst critics, what do you think you need to work on the most to get ready for the next level?
I've said it before. If you're a great college player, you can be a great NFL player. It's just about getting in there, learning your system, and being dedicated and working hard. Hard work beats talent all the time, but if you're talented and you work hard, it's hard to be beat. So, I'll keep that attitude and make sure I continue to work hard. As a quarterback, you can get better at everything. Arm strength, accuracy. There's nothing that you can ever be perfect at, and I'll continue to work at everything.
Mike and RG3, again, the expectation he'll be the second pick in the draft on Thursday night going to the Washington Redskins. A story comes out last week, one of 8 million stories that have been written about you, the overwhelming majority of which have been so positive, and then there's one that comes out in which someone was questioning your character and suggesting you were selfish. When you saw that, what was your reaction?
Just a reaction of, I can't fight that battle. The people who know you and know what you're about, or at least gotten a glimpse of it, can fight those battles for you. So I can't sit here and say, well, he's wrong. That's, so far from the truth, because it doesn't matter, because everybody has words and everybody has an opinion. You just have to go out and be yourself and let your actions speak for who you are.
Robert Griffin III, joining Mike and Mike in the morning. ESPN Radio will be the second pick of the draft to the Washington Redskins. I love the story to where you get, Robert. So who have been the most important people and the reason you are where you are right now?
It starts with my family. My mom and my dad, my 2 sisters, my fiance, and then, of course, the person that supplied all those people to me, and that's God. So without all those people in my life, I wouldn't be where I am today. That includes high school teammates, high school coaches, college teammates, and college coaches that all helped me get to where I am.
And then finally, who was the best athlete at Baylor this past year?
Best athlete, gonna have to go with Philip Blake, my center. Watch for him; he'll be drafted pretty soon in the 4th, 5th round, maybe. he's a second center, so he was probably the best athlete.
All right, that's not what I meant.
No. Let him go. That's cool. I love that.
Golick likes hearing about the lineman.
I like it, Golick. Good job.
Yes.
I was expecting you to go Brittany Griner. That's what I was expecting. I was going to go the whole competition between Brittany Griner, who was clearly the best women's player in America and led them to a national championship and undefeated season, and you were there cheering them along at the Final Four, versus you who won the Heisman Trophy.
Understood. Griner's definitely a great athlete. Yes, I'm still looking forward to that dunk contest between me and her, but right now I have to focus on football, and she's got to focus on dunking on girls. So,
well, here's the one thing you have up on her. She's got a national championship. You've got a Heisman. So to break the tie, you have a life-size statue of yourself made out of smokehouse barbecue chicken. And to the best of my knowledge, she does not. So in that regard, I think you probably have the upper hand.
oh yeah, and definitely, and it looks awesome. Actually, it's pretty cool. It looks nothing like me. No, I'm just kidding. But it's great. I get a chance to be a part of the Subway family, and I've always been a fan. So, it's just great that I can, get free sandwiches now instead of having to pay for them.
That's what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about.
RG3 is the newest Subway famous fan, and they have unveiled a life-size food statue made of smokehouse barbecue chicken to commemorate RG3. Hey, best of luck. It has been a pleasure to follow you through this process, and we certainly look forward to seeing you playing in the NFC East. Good luck, Robert.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Robert.
That's RG3 on the Subway Fresh Take Hotline, appropriately enough. He's a very good guy.
He really is.
And I was puzzled by that story. Look, I mean, everyone is entitled to their opinion, and it's a legitimate story if somebody said it.
It's what happens. The closer you get to the draft, people start to come out with more things. I have found him nothing short of engaging, great personality, and incredible on the field. Not just his athletic ability, but so much of the quarterback position in the NFL is from the neck up. And this guy's got that. He's got that. He'll be able to pick up the offense and then use his athletic ability as well to help him along. But he's got the smarts to break down the defense.
Yeah, and look, what do I know? I've met him twice, but basing my feeling only on what I had heard from, I thought, everyone in the year or so that he has become sort of a sensation. And going into last season, he really wasn't that well known.
Right.
Inside, people knew the name, but you didn't know that he was going to break out and have the kind of year that he had. And since then, all you heard about him was A, how good he was, and B, what a good guy he is, right? I mean, and he seems like a good guy, but I'd heard that from practically everyone. He's on the cover of the new ESPN, the magazine as well. So, certainly RG3 is all over the place, and we'll see how things go. With Luck going to Indy and him going to Washington, like so many other quarterbacks that go the same year, they will forever be compared to each other, and we'll see what happens.
This is like the Manning and Ryan Leaf, because the 1 and 2, and there was a bit of a debate, and we saw which way that, and let me tell you.
You gotta really hope it doesn't go that way.
You're not kidding. They're going to hope it goes the way of Eli Manning and Roethlisberger and
Rivers, all in the same draft,
all doing extremely well. And I think that's where most people feel these two guys are, that they're both going to be big hits.
Yeah, well, those three guys all went in the same draft. Marino, Elway, and Kelly all went in the same draft. They're all in the Hall of Fame. I don't think there's any question about these two quarterbacks who'll go at the top. I think the next question is, how about the third quarterback, Ryan Tannehill? How good will he be, and how quickly? Where's he going to go? I said it yesterday. I believe he will go 8 to the Dolphins. I don't believe they'll trade up to get him, and I don't believe he will fall past them. We had McShay saying that if he does fall past them, that he thinks he'll wind up going 12 to Seattle, and that he thinks he'll wind up going 12